Hello guys, welcome to another video. Another beautiful day on the water. I just launched out of King Harbor, Redondo Beach, and as promised, I'm playing around today and trying to test the Bixpy speeds with both mounts. The purpose is obviously to try to see if the DIY project on the Bixpy mount that I made, how it's gonna work. And so yeah, just for reference, the swell is at 2 feet 6 seconds apart, and the winds are mild, around 5 miles an hour, which is, I would consider it a nice day. I mean, there's lots of paddle boarders out there, so it's not that bad. And just for testing purposes, I have my cousin with me in the other kayak that I'm using as a mule, and I basically stripped down my kayak and I don't have any of the junk I usually bring. There is nothing on the back except the Bixpy. And yeah, the long-awaited video that everybody asked for. Actually, nobody asked for it. I'm kind of doing it for myself. Only 3 people saw the video, and one of those guys still lives with his mother and decided to give me a thumbs down. But anyway, without any further ado, let's go for it. So take the Mirage drive out. So my camera mounts that I was supposed to get today did not come, so I'm doing this by a handheld GoPro. And I did not bring my fish finder, so I'm gonna use the iPhone and kind of record on the speed on it. So whatever it is, it is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and crank the Bixpy full speed and just do a couple of runs each direction for a minute or so, see how it goes. Okay, now we are at full speed. Actually, it looks like it's a little bit bigger than 2 feet swell, but anyway, that's max. That's the G2. The one that is inside right now is the G2, the newer version of the Bixpy, and that's speed 12 at max, which is showing 4 miles consistent going this way. iPhone got wet, so it's hard to get the thing out now. So yeah, basically for 4 miles an hour, it jumped for a second to 5. obviously I'm not gonna win any speed records. I'm not doing this for the speed. This is basically the speed I would go if I was really punching it with the Mirage drive, which even with my cycling legs, I don't think I can sustain for a long period of time. I can usually cruise between 3 to 3.5 miles an hour for quite a while, but anything over that is not really sustainable. And I'm really happy with the speed that it's giving me right now. I usually don't even run it on max. I cruise around 3 miles an hour when I decide to use it, and most of the time actually somebody else uses it, so I'm not even using it at all. So yeah, let's turn around and go the other direction now. GoPro is probably gonna flatten out the view. I mean, it's not, I wouldn't consider it choppy. It's usually like this almost any other day. Obviously it's not a lake. So yeah, going the opposite way, coming back. Again, 4 miles an hour. That's at full speed. I'm not going to do the rest of the speeds. Obviously it's going to be a little bit slower. At this speed it's going to last an hour and 20 minutes. It's going to last. If I run it at the lower speeds, I usually like around 7-8 speed, and that gives me consistent 3 miles an hour, even if it's choppy or a little bit more windier. So yeah, perfect mount. The only problem is the Mirage drive is not in there. So if I want to stop the Bixpy and I want to fish and move a little bit, I have to take out this mount out, put the Mirage drive back in there, and that's the reason I kinda wanna try something else. Still at 4 miles an hour. And that's pretty much it. Let me catch up to my cousin so I can grab the other mount and the other Bixby, and I'll do the same kind of run. Obviously this is not very scientific, so take it as it is. And again, I'm not running any of my accessories on it. Usually I bring a lot of junk, especially when I'm fishing. Okay, I'm back. So obviously I didn't bring my plug over there, so this thing is gonna stay empty. Or maybe I'm gonna put the Mirage drive in there just for the heck of it. I'm just gonna run it flat on the bottom so it kinda doesn't have a kill or something to give it more advantage. And we're doing the DIY mount at full speed only. Okay, that's max speed. Just gonna give it a couple of seconds. It's doing pretty good actually. It's not kicking up, it's not coming out. And surprisingly, the way I have it in there, it's actually tracking straight I mean, the kayak is going forward straight without much having to correct the steering. And the depth, how far down it is, it's maybe a tiny bit less, a tiny bit higher than where the plug and the pedal, the Mirage Drive mount stays. And we are at, again, 4 miles an hour top speed. So pretty good actually. I mean, this is exactly actually what I was hoping to get. I was hoping that I'm not going to lose any speed going to this mount. And so far 4 miles an hour. Just gonna go ahead and turn around. Kicking up with the fence. It doesn't really interfere with anything. Okay, so we're going back the other way. But still, it's jumping between 3 and 4 miles an hour. So there seems to be not a lot of current. It's mostly the chop is what's slowing me down. I think it's not as smooth. If I kick up with the fence, yeah, again, not much difference. Maybe I can gain another mile, but this is a top speed on the Bixpy, so maybe if I have it at lower speed, then I can play with the Mirage Drive and get a little exercise and have this thing buzz at mid speed. So if I experience any problems with this mount, I'll come back and I'll post any corrections I've done, but this is the first kind of prototype that I made. But obviously the guy that designed it, or the guy that I copied the mount from, he already kind of figured it out, so it was easy peasy for me just to make it. And I'm surprised that actually I don't have to play with the direction where how it's supposed to stay. It's tracking perfect. I don't even, honestly, when I'm pedaling with the Mirage Drive, I actually have to use the steering a lot more than I'm doing right now. So yeah, success. If there is any questions or comments, let me know if I can do anything better to perfect it. Thank you guys, bye. Okay, so we're back. So in this one I am gonna have the Mirage Drive adapter in there with the Bixby, and also the DIY mount. Gonna run them both at max speed. Kind of feel like I need to be buckled in. My app goes to up to 75 miles an hour, so I think I should be okay. Okay. This one is at max now. Looks like it's doing pretty good by itself. Let's crank the other one also. Wow. So both are at max speed right now, both the Mirage Drive adapter and the back one, and we're making quite a bit of wake, but really not going that much faster. We're jumping between 4 and 5 miles an hour. So yeah, as everybody says, you can put a jet on this thing and the hole is kind of restricted to how much faster you're gonna go. So we're staying at consistently at 5 miles an hour, and I mean, obviously there is a little more weight in the kayak now, which kind of offsets, but the Bixpy really doesn't weigh much. Is the battery with the mount is less than 10 pounds, so I mean, it's not bad, 5 miles an hour, but yeah, I wouldn't run both of them at the same time. You're really not going twice as fast. It does feel kind of more rougher though. I don't know if the chop is a little more over here. I mean, there's quite a bit of I would say 3 footers, maybe 5 seconds apart. And it feels like we're going faster, but we really are not. So yeah, one Bixpy is enough, and both of them are at full speed. This is as fast as she would go. Maybe for those of you that are in lakes and flat water, you'll get a little more out of them, but for me it's not even worth considering. Plus it does get very overcrowded on the boat.